Hi guys, this is Ashish. In my previous video, we discussed about a workshop which was conducted last week, of course. And in that workshop, we spoke about what kind of questions are going to be discussed and how things are going to be. We emphasized upon solving 25 questions and how those 25 questions can be solved in the least time possible. And then of course there were many students, they wanted us to post some video in regards to that workshop. So here we are. Let's get started. So first thing today I'm going to talk about is RC, Reading Comprehension, and these are the points. If you want, you can also pause the video and you can check what these pointers are. The first is always remember to read the questions first and then you will read the options. Why I'm asking you these 2 points to be followed in RC? Because usually what students do, as soon as they see RC or the passage on a computer screen, they start reading it. It's a waste of time. Straight away go on to the questions. Once I read the questions, I get to know without even reading a single word from the passage what the passage is all about. If the passage is on cricket, definitely my questions are also going to be on cricket. So these questions, reading the questions will help me to gauge beforehand what the passage is all about. Second is read the options. Now, why this is important? Because there are some questions where you cannot judge the passage just by reading the question. For example, open-ended question. What is the theme of the passage? What is the tone of the passage? What is the best possible title of the passage? Of course, for these kind of questions, when you read the options, you get an idea what the passage could be. I'm sure you guys are understanding because you guys are preparing and studying for this upcoming exam. Second thing we discussed about the vocabulary. Now vocabulary testing questions are, these are few examples: antonym, synonym, fill in the blanks, cloze test, or it is also known as cloze test. Now these questions can be asked separately or maybe a part of RC. When you read the questions, you will get to know whether you have to replace the word, find the opposite of certain word depending upon the meaning used in the passage. So based on that, you have to find the answer. Here at this point, some students do a mistake. As soon as they find out that 2 or 3 questions can be answered on the basis of antonym and synonym, they get excited and they do a bigger mistake. The mistake what they do is they straight away jump on to solving these questions separately because they know these questions can be answered without the understanding of the passage. Now this is a wrong thing. Anyway, you have to answer other questions. So please do not try to solve these questions beforehand. Go with the flow. Try to solve these questions the way they are. The second thing is this, that whenever these questions are there, make sure that you are not getting stuck into some point. Only you are going to solve these questions when you are pretty sure you're not going to solve the RC and you're not going to invest your time, or if you do not have the time. The third thing which we spoke about is passage completion. Now we all know what is a passage completion. As soon as you read the paragraph, you get to know there is a blank space or a smaller blank or a longer blank, and of course there are options based on it. Do not read the options. What people do, as soon as you get to know there is a passage completion question, they straight away, or some people, they try to be over smart, they straight away jump onto the options. If you do that, you dug a grave for yourself. Why? Because of a simple reason. If you do that, you will be finding all the options similar. You will be thinking that yes, this option is also right, that option is also right. So please don't do that. As soon as you get to know that the question is on passage completion because you have read the questions early, straight away go on to that passage. Now, if it is asked separately, answer is mostly the understanding of the passage, the inference, and that's how exactly. So now we are going to talk about para-jumble. Now, I understand this is the question which after RC or maybe before RC consumes the maximum time. Now here I'm going to talk about that you're not going to invest more than 5 minutes in these questions. I mean to say, for 5 questions, not more than 5 minutes. After reading the questions, do not simply jump on reading the sentences not in sequence, but you first read the questions. Sometimes there are questions, for those questions in para-jumble, there is no need to align them in a sequence. For example, theme of the arranged sentences. What could be the last sentence once these sentences are arranged in a sequence? What could be the first sentence before a particular option or before an option or sentence after an option. Guys, for these questions or these type of questions, if they're asked in Parajumble and CET exam, there is no need for you guys to arrange the sentences into sequence. Why? Because the theme remains the same. Last sentence remains the same. First sentence remains the same. Last sentence is nothing but the conclusion. After once the sentence have been rearranged, they want you guys to find the conclusion. Or once the sentence are arranged, they want you guys to find the introduction. Now for all these three questions, all you need to do is understand the content of those given line. Sentence before an option, for example, they say, let's say option B is at the third position. So what could be the sentence used before B, or what could be the sentence used after B? If you know what is B, just read B, understand the content of B, and based on that content, you can find the answer from the options given. You can solve the questions on Parajumble by focusing upon various shortcuts, tricks which we have already discussed in the class. I hope this small video will give an idea how to solve questions in the least time possible with the maximum impact. Thank you guys, and yes, please keep watching our videos at CET King, and I'm sure we are going to post more videos like this so that you guys are getting the most out of these videos. Thank you guys.